All right. Check. Welcome back. Welcome back to myself. It's been a while, and somehow I haven't really found the time to keep on doing this, so what else is there to do on a rainy Saturday, right? So here we go. I also decided that today is the day that we're gonna start with redesigning our anaemic domain model into a more CQRS-like thing, which is basically what we try to, which is one of the goals. I'm not sure if you can hear this, but it's raining really loud. Hey, what's up, Patrick? Right. So yeah. I think in order for us all to understand, let's maybe first show what the application is doing at the moment. So can I remember the URL? This is all I needed. Right, so what the application is doing currently is it's got some challenges. You can create a new challenge. You can get an overview of the competitions. You can create a new competition. The idea is that when you create a competition, you can complete challenges that you added to that competition. And then when a competitor completes the competition, they get the points. Eventually, it should end at some point, and then you can host it again if you want. Now, that's about it, I guess. The current version isn't deployed here yet. Maybe it is actually deployed on the Heroku thing. I'm not really sure. Yeah, definitely not. Okay, cool. Right. So what we now have is in our domain. So let's go. This is not in presentation mode yet. So here we go. Right. So currently in our quote-unquote domain, we've got exactly two things, main things, the challenges and then competitions. Now, over the course of the application, I think challenges have become part of competition itself, and it risks competition turning into a God object, which we don't like, because we're non-believers, I guess. No, because it comes with a lot of problems on its own, and we try to avoid those as much as we can. Now, maybe it also makes sense to show the last thing that I did, because demoing the application that we had just now isn't really going to be that helpful. So what I'll try to do is I'll run our project, and then also run the UI, because I don't think, did I? All right, I need to be in the Fit UI thing for that to be working. There we go. Run serve. Did the trick. Oops. Oh, my database isn't up and running yet either, so I guess I'll do a Docker compose up of ops Postgres, this Docker compose file. Okay, so apparently we've got some things running already. There we go. All right, so it's up and running. Then we can restart our Spring Boot app. Great. The UI should be up and running as well. Yeah, okay, cool. Localhost 8081. Here we go. So now we are only left with competitions and creating a new competition. And then when you do, yeah, this is gonna be fine. We can directly add some challenges. I don't know, stream for, I don't know, 24 hours or something. How many points should we get? I guess 24. See title, save. Then we'll need to add some competitors. Then we can basically already start the competition, I think. Here we go, start the competition. And then we can select, then we can see what the scoreboard is, complete the challenges, and then everything is working. Now we notice that we don't or no longer have a list of challenges anymore. So there's no real way to distinguish that, but so this is like the minimal features that we need for our application, I think, which is gonna help when we are going to redesign stuff. So just consider challenges only exist when a competition exists. Now what you can do is start a competition again. Like for example, I know that we'll be hosting Snowcase 2020 or doing Snowcase 2020 again. We do that in 2019, somewhere I think April-ish or March through April, if I'm not mistaken. All of the challenges are already selected, and then I can submit. Oh damn, I chose 2019, so this is why it was wrong. Then we can add some more people, whatever's, and then we can start the competition again. So still now all of the challenges are there that we did last year, and we're good to go. So this is basically why I'm creating this application in the first place. I think now we've covered all of the features. Great. So let's start off by how I'm thinking about taking on this thing. So I think I both want to maybe it'll be good to create a list or something like maybe a README. Do we have something like, we've got a captain's log. That's right. Oh, right. 2019, September, I don't know, 28, okay. Start of moving to CQRS. So if you don't know, CQRS stands for Command and Query Responsibility Segregation. And it's a design technique basically, or an architecture if you can call it that, to make sure that the responsibility of both command, like writing stuff and reading stuff, are separated, so that you don't get into the nasty stuff of, hey, I've got this object here, I should use it to display something, but then you don't need all of that stuff while you're writing things. So usually what will happen is you'll alter your model just so that you can show something on the screen, but then you don't want your writing side of your object to be able to deal with that. So this should help with that. It's pretty simple, but it requires some discipline to make sure that you properly segregate those two parts. So the last couple of things that last projects that we did, or that I did, we had multiple modules to one backend. So right now we've got what's it called? It's just fid backend, and then underneath this backend there's just the domain. Now what I want to do is I want to have fid backend because that's just like the module of the backend project, and I want the domains right side commands, the domains read side, so that's the query part, and then in between there should be the domains core. Now I believe that you can't really do segregation without loosely coupled architecture, so what we'll need for this thing here is the domains API, and have both write and read depend on this and not the core directly. So what will happen is that, am I lying? I think I might be lying. So but in any case, we'll need this and then provide adapters to actually persist stuff as well, persist this core domain. So what we'll need here as well is persistence layer. There we go. And I don't want anything to do with Hibernate anymore. So we'll like get rid of Hibernate and replace with something else. I don't really know what is out there for Kotlin, but I've read some good things about this thing. I like JDBI because it provides interfaces, but I'm not really sure what to get. As you can see, this seems like quite a lot of work. I think this it's normal because it's a very big redesign. But it's something that I wanted to prove to myself that I was able to do that within like an anaemic domain model. So currently, I'll add some or show you some more stuff. Let's open up a controller. So this is our REST endpoint. The REST endpoint, if you fetch a detail of a challenge, you get a challenge object in return. This challenge object is directly queried from a Hibernate repository. So this is that interface that we saw, which extends from JPA repository, which is from Spring, but it's Hibernate and at the very end. And then we're exposing our Hibernate entity basically to the outside world through this REST API, and I no longer want to do that. So I'll need some projections is what they usually get called. So let's also add that, plus projections of our domain. There we go. That's that. Then the other thing that's a problem is, where is it? Okay, here. So here we are updating a challenge, and the thing that's being passed to this REST API is a challenge itself. This challenge again is just the entity, and it's being used to copy, and then also because I did the copy because we don't want to take along the ID if it gets passed along. So that's one of those nasty things that you get when you use your domain as an input to your REST endpoints. So if you use your domain directly, I mean. It does make your code nice and small though. So that's cool. And I mean, I'm not saying that anaemic domain models are horrible. It's just that they have their use. So I also wouldn't, that's maybe another thing. I wouldn't do this for this project. I mean, I wouldn't use command query CQRS from the beginning, because it's just a small application. And I also got value out of learning stuff and being able to adapt real fast, because there's almost no layers. There's just the REST API. Then there's the straight into the domain, and it makes stuff easy. Okay, so that's that. The things that are gonna help me do this is we've got an entire suite of, hang on, where are they? Scenario tests. So the combination of these, they all basically test major behavior of the application. So, and the other thing is that they go through the entire REST API. So they use the REST API as an endpoint, an entry point, and then they also verify using the REST API endpoint. Now the thing is, I will be changing or no longer using the domain objects themselves anymore, so they're gonna have to change along. And then I'm not sure really about how I feel about that. So should maybe just extract interfaces out of this or something. I don't know yet, but as long as they keep working, I'm pretty confident that my redesign has worked as well. So at what time do you decide to go for CQRS? This is a very good question, Patrick. I think if you have a very complex domain, so in our case it's really not complex because there's only a competition, it's got a competitor, and a competition has challenges, so the domain is quite simple. And I knew that I still had to learn a lot with a very small domain, so then I definitely would not choose CQRS because it creates so much overhead, especially in the beginning, that it'll stall your learning. So if I know that I'm going to be on a project that has the longevity of the application should be over 5 years maybe, then and a more complex domain, which usually is the case if you write custom software for a company, then I think CQRS is warranted. Now the other thing that you can remark is that, okay, but when everyone in the team understands CQRS and maybe also event sourcing, then you can start doing that from the get-go, because you can throw the overhead overboard that way. Especially if you already have projects that have this setup and it's already known to your entire team. But usually I wouldn't do that. You're welcome. Thanks for asking that question. So I have a test suite that should provide coverage or certainty. It's a sort of safety net, if you will. Thoughts on JDBI versus Spring Data JDBC? Ooh, I didn't know yet about Spring Data JDBC, so maybe I should add that as well to the captain's log. Spring Data JDBC. So I know about JDBI, and the thing I like about it is that it provides you with an interface much like this. So, well, okay, maybe not like that, but the competition one. Let's open the competition repository. Yeah, something like this. So you just say, this is what my interface looks like, and then JDBI will allow you to annotate, or using some annotations, provide you with the proper queries to do this. And then in the end, you can just depend on this repository pattern as an interface. And I'm not sure that Spring Data JDBC does the same or allows the same. I also have no idea well it works alongside Kotlin. But yeah, so this is the other thing I know about. I'm not really sure how it Spring Data JDBC does that. Then I think that'll be like then I don't think I will look at JDBI anymore, because that's basically the only thing I really wanted to use that. So, but it means learning about this. So, and then Juke is, or at least I think that's how you spell it. Yeah, there you go. I think it's almost the same, but I heard that it has proper Kotlin support. But even that I'm not really sure about. Hey, thanks for following Yongsheng. Type safe ask SQL. So this is really the thing I wanted. Not sure about Kotlin, and there's some other edge cases I've ran into that I'm not sure are normal. Oh boy. Yeah, if you want to share, please do. Are these edge cases? Do they have to deal with transaction stuff or not? I mean, not that it matters all that much, because my commands will or should deal with that. I also just now read that there's pricing involved. Like what? What's the pricing thing? Popular choice. Oh, all right, I bet. What's this license? ASL 2.0. But they don't mention Kotlin either. Yeah, I mean, what's this ASL2 license? Oh, it's the new Apache license. Okay. I have no idea what kind of license this is. Apache. Right. I guess I'll have to look that up. You try to avoid transactions for now. This is great. ID generation is a pain in the ass mostly, but only been toying with it a few days. All right. That's already great information. So we might go with this, or we might go with Spring Data JDBC. These goddamn cookies. I wonder if like all of the websites have like a deal with cookie clicker, and every time you accept a cookie, like they get 1 million cookies or something. Okay. Oh, the aggregate root. They're actually, oh holy. Okay, this is starting to sound interesting. All right. All right, so I'm reading about this stuff. All right, okay. Support for query annotations. Features events dot. What is behind this? Is it learn? Here we go. Current, yeah. Oh, okay. They have, this is like the thing that they have. And what is behind it? Is it just Hibernate as well or not? Because I mean, that's always an option, I guess. I can extract all of the current data models that I have to like the persistence layer, and then provide mappings to my actual domain if I need it. Or basically just keep the stuff I have right now just for showing purposes, and then only transform. I think that's the thing that makes the most sense, actually. Like as a first step, I mean. Just go like alternative. Keep fit backend as is, or like move to persistence layer, and then move or start writing commands. No wait, extract domain from fit backend as is, and then start writing commands to it, and then like map to and from persistence layer, something like that. JPA is too complex. Yeah. All right. Good tips, man. Gotta check this out then. So I think this is gonna provide a faster path to learning, I think. And then I can move to Spring JDBC at some point. Because then after it's been extracted, I can just choose the technology behind it. Extracted and mapped, that is. Okay, so Juke suddenly doesn't seem like it's good. All right. There we go. And this can go. Right. This can go as well. So this is sort of the thing I wanted to do. Move to Spring JDBC. Like that's like an optional thing. And then yeah, I think it come down to the same thing. The order is just different. Because when I do this, then I need to have an API present, I guess. Anyway, let's try doing this. Okay, how am I gonna do this? Because I want to make it clear to everyone, like where in the process I'm at. And then also I want to do it gradually. So do I just start doing this on a branch or something, or there's no one that I collaborate with? So, I mean, what I mean by that is that there's no one else from developers impacted. So, I mean, I can have long living branches. The other thing, or the other approach I could do is just start writing commands and extracting all of this in packages first, and then split it into actual modules. Then I don't need to deal with cyclic dependencies, like set up dependencies in my project. The other thing I could do as well is just provide a new backend module, basically, and then do all of my work there. Let's do that. I think that's... Then we've got both approaches next to each other. Sounds like a plan. Effort backend. CQRS backend. There you go. Why not? It's not how do you say, it's not a way to yeah, this is all of it, huh? Nice. It's just so that then I have both projects at the same time and I can reference them. So what I can do here is list that I did that. So started or introduced, copied effort backend to effort CQRS backend. So I can continuously refer to both designs, I guess architectures on stream. Cool. So then I'll need to add that thing as a module. I hope it doesn't really conflict. Then we'll also call it like that. And then we've got the CQRS. We'll need to rename this one too. This one. Let's rename it. Hopefully. Okay then. There we go. Yeah, the startup thing I might not need. I mean, it's gonna... It might mess with stuff I don't want it to mess with. Oh yeah, it's going slow. Web application config should remain. This interface can remain, I guess. I'm not gonna deal with that yet. And then, right, and now I can actually add more modules if I want it. So first, let's split up these packages into the things I want it to look like at some point. So let's introduce some packages. So we've got command. We've got query. API. So this is all core domain. Maybe I should have a core package as well. Okie dokie. And then what I can do is I'll do make a new package domain. Oh, domain, and then move core and API into there. Yeah, go ahead. Oh no. I always leave on these stupid checkboxes for some reason. Come on. Please, IntelliJ. Okay, my PC is broken, I guess. Or my Mac. Non-responsive. Let's kill it. Dang it. Enable presentation mode again. Okay, so the plan again is to do this, and then, yeah, this is fine. This is gonna be faster. No. Don't search for references because there aren't any yet. Ah, oh, dang it. I don't know what I'm doing anymore. This should be domain.core instead of core.api. There we go. All right. Okie dokie. All right, so now what I can do is, well, commands and queries are also part of the domain, I guess. I wanted to introduce another package called adapters or something, adapter.sql maybe. Because this should transform my domain, or should know how to transform my domain to JDBC somehow. So to put it in, persist it in a database. In that case, I can move command and then also query into domain. There we go. Great. And then the other thing I should do is provide another adapter maybe to show it on screen. So let's create a new package called adapter.ui maybe. Now we can start moving those controllers there. Let's do that. So we can do this. Hang on. I think I still want to have that change. So let's do challenge as well. And then create another package called UI.competition. And then we can move repository there. All right. I want to know if, oh boy. I said I wanted to know, it's not very useful at all. Let's do a, okay, so it really only modified anything in CQRS backend, I guess. So we should do, let's make a commit. Started, move to CQRS. In a new module, fit CQRS backend. Just wonder why it takes so long. Okay, I've got about an hour and a half left. Let's just commit. Just commit. Okay. Right, so we've, oh god. We moved the wrong thing to there, so I need only the controller there. And then actually the repository should go here. Package challenge, and then package SQL.competition. And then move this repository over here. Alrighty, that should take care of that. And then I can do the same with competition, actually. So let's move the competition controller over to here. There we go. And then the repository should go over there. There we go. And then there's already something that's snuck in. The create competition thing. So this is actually already a command that I couldn't refrain myself from making. Okay. Yeah, this is something intermediate that we need to do later. So we've got a competitor, and a competitor has a repository as well. So let's create a new package here, competitor, and then move that repository over there. Alrighty. So I think what I want to do first is like I did right now, move it and keep the domain split as is, because last time we learned that challenge is actually part of competition, so it should really move here. But we're not doing that yet. Okay, so this is all UI stuff right now. This is Great. Okay, so now we can start moving these things to our domain actually. And they just belong in core right now. So core will have two packages called challenge. And then another one called competition. And then maybe even under competition, I'll need a competitor package. Ugh. Package core dot competition. And then just move stuff in there. Let's do this. Move it here. Oi. I wonder why that was. I couldn't select all of them. Okay, let's see what... Oh, come on. It really is just CQRS backend that's changed. Okay. Let's do the same with challenge already. Okie dokie. So we can clear this, clear that. And then do the same with competitors. So we'll do it and create competitor package. Okay. Refactor. This is so slow, young. Jesus. Okay. Challenge already completed. Yeah, we'll see what we have to do with those exceptions at some point. But first, let's continue extracting all of this stuff. So competition creator should actually belong in the domain, I think. And then create competition should not. This one really only belongs in the UI, I think. So adapter UI well, or it could be a command. Maybe let's put it there first. Okay. Package competition. Then create competition is there. There you go. Okay. Okie dokie. What about create challenge? Ah, okay. That's cheeky. So I'll need to move this to the command as well, but then command package command dot challenge and then move create challenge there. Now it's a type alias for regular challenge. I hope that make internal? No. I want to do like inline inline this. But create challenge isn't even used anywhere. Okay, then I think we can get rid of it at some point, but let's actually find out if create challenge isn't used either in the other thing, and the backend that we used to come from. Yeah, okay, then I guess it can go. But we'll leave cleanup for a later stage. So first let's just move everything that we know can be moved. Seems like this completer ID thing is only ever used in the UI. So let's move that to the UI for competition, right? Because it's in the competition controller. It was, however, in the competitor package, so maybe I'll just add that here, move it there. All right, and then figure out what to do with these exceptions. They're all called domain exception. I think that might be a dead giveaway that they really actually belong in the domain. Okay. And then the only thing that one's left is the competitor exception, which can also just move. Damn it, in retrospect, I really should have just extracted into UI and renamed the rest of the packages, but it might be clearer this way. So domain, this thing can go. I think challenge is also gone. There we go. Competition can go. All right. There's the split. We've got a domain part with commands already. No queries because we're just using JPA still. And I think that should be that. So okay, let's try and fix compilation errors where we can find them. Unresolved. Why is that? Oh, hang on. There's no way to check which module. Okay, it is a CQRS backend, so that's good. So what is problem? It didn't properly refactor. That's too bad. Okay. So that was that fixed. I think that was in the repository, right? So let's also check the challenge repository. Okay, challenge repository is fine. What about this one? Okay. Okay, so next thing that is up, maybe also let's create a new file so that this directory can also gets committed. Same for here. All right, that is already worth another commit. So what I did here was started to extract into packages that represent or eventually will represent modules. And then the next part is to let's commit. The next part is to also get the same structure going for our test packages because they're well, not like this anymore. So what we can do is these controller tests should move to the FIT packet. Well, actually, I can just move, right? It should move to adapter.ui.challenge package. That's it. Oh, hang on. Cancel because oh no. Leave in same source root. Okay. Controller tests in spec failures. Okay. I don't know what spec failures is. Maybe we can look it up afterwards. Nice. The repository integration test should move to the SQL adapter thing. Okay, so that would be adapter.sql.challenge. And then challenge test should move to domain core challenge alongside the challenge test builder, I think. So we can then just rename this package. And we can rename it to domain.core challenge. So this is the way I should have done it with the production code as well. Ugh. All right, and then we'll do the same with this, with competition, I mean. So competition controller should move to adapter.ui.competition. All right, same for repository integration test, which should be moved to adapter.sql.competition. And then we get, oh, hang on. This one we can just move as well to adapter.sql.competition.competitor. There we go. And then all of the rest we can just, this is weird that it's not in here actually. So we'll just move it there first. And rename this entire package to domain, I think, core. Now I got doubting myself, but it's correct. Domain.core. There you go. Boom, boom. This is taking a while, huh? Okay. Is it complete or what, IntelliJ? Oh, Jesus. It's not completely hanging, but then I don't know what it's doing right now, so. What do I do? Force quit yet again. I can just command Q maybe. Nope. That's the second time I had to do that today. All right. And let's enter presentation mode again. How much did it complete? Not very much. Let's move these there already. Okay. It's so weird that you can't. That you can't select multiple and then move them. All right. Come on, IntelliJ, I know you got it. All right, and then we'll move these. I'll get rid of that one. Maybe you can just do this. No. Domain.core.competition. All right. It really doesn't allow me to do this. I really don't know why either. If you do it with one and it works. Badu heck. Let's just do them one by one. Well, I mean, I can't imagine doing that on a larger project. It should work. It should just work, right? Okay, so that's all test files moved along with it as well. I wonder if everything actually keeps on working now. This is this should also be just part of the I think what I called it was FS CQRS application. This should be part of the adapter UI part, I guess. Still complaining. So let's move that here. Okay. And then the exceptions. This is also, in fact, part of the UI. Right? Because this handler is a controller advice, which is part of. So let's move this into the UI as well. I do not want to continue because I actually only want adapter UI.exceptions. Yes. And then get rid of that one. Okay. Ooh, and then since I moved that, I think this should probably, this handler at least, and then the effort error for sure should move here as well. So maybe let's do UI package exceptions and then move this one there and the domain runtime. Well, and the effort error there as well. Okay. And then what's an util? It's a marker interface. I thought I only needed this for tests. REST API. I know it should move to UI as well. Yeah. Okay. So let's do that too. Let's do adapter.ui.util. Just keep it in the same package for now. Let's create it. There we go. Major Advil. Thanks for the follow. All right, and then eventually the web application config, it should also move to the UI adapter. Okay, let's do that as well. Move package. Yeah, I want to do that. Oh, here we go again. So let's do adapter.ui.web. No, just web. Yes. And then this can go as well. And then the Affet application, in fact, ooh, okay, I can't move this because then I'll fuck with Spring's component scanning. So we'll need to find a different way to do that one. Exceptions. So this should be part of one of these. I think since I'm calling them in core, I think I should put them in core as well. So let's move these to... Oh god. So they can remain in exceptions, but they should be in domain, core. There we go. Oh wow. All right, and then this package can go. Okay, I think now we've nicely cleaned it up. We've got our core domain, and we've got SQL UI adapters, and then our domain, which is now split up in core, some exceptions, and then query, which isn't implemented yet, command, which have create challenge and competition right now, and then an API which is unused still because they just all belong to the same module. Great. And then Affet application I can't change just yet because it's not... I mean, I will screw with Spring application or the component scanning. That's it basically. Because now it just scans the root BESWSB Affet package. And if I would put it in the adapter, then it suddenly wouldn't scan domain anymore. And currently it's still... It wouldn't scan these entities anymore, and then I would be screwed. I would also put it in the UI, and then it wouldn't also scan SQL, which contains my repositories that currently use JPA repositories, so they wouldn't get scanned either. And then basically nothing would work anymore, so don't want that. Let's see what we can still move here. Test. All right, so they need to be outside of that main package. So we can mock stuff. And then util, yeah, sure, why not? REST API exposed. Wait, no, I moved that to UI, right? Util, yeah. Okay, so let's move this here. Okay. No, because then it will also change the regular one, and I don't want to do that. So that would be Affet adapter UI and then util. Alrighty. And then the scenario test can just remain there, I think. Yeah, they should use the CQRS application. There we go. And then the other one will have the same problem probably. There's still some other tests that fail there. Alrighty, and then what? It can't find challenges here. Why is that? Because this is, yeah. I think it's so weird that only competition had that issue and not challenge. Alright, I think everything should be compiling now, so let's actually verify that by compiling. And then we can commit, and then that means that we have split up our previous backend into a more CQRS-like structure. Well, actually more a hexagonal-like structure with ports and adapters. Oof. All right, I guess I'll need to fix all of these. And that also moved. Rerun the build. Oh, actually. More exceptions. Okay, that's that. Then in domain core, competition, test builder. All right, is that it? Hopefully that's it. Still wondering if I should put all of this into one gigantic commit or not. That seems to be working. Do I dare run these tests as well? Let's make a little commit maybe. Hang on now. I really want to make sure that... Ooh, no, this is also moved. This is bad. What import changed here? Ah, no. No, God, no. Oh, no. Why? Oh, no. Did it actually... Yeah, it moved all of challenge. Shit. I guess I clicked too fast because I probably saw this and then didn't see it. Yeah, so. Sheesh, y'all. Package. Let's do the way it was before. Wait, can I just revert just this? And then the same for backend. Yeah, this is what I want. All right. This can go, doesn't exist. Same for this. All right. So I think it's just a good thing I can. I checked that I only had changes here in CQRS backend. All right. So we've got F challenge. This is a weird, looks weird. Why is that? Oh yeah, okay, no, it's normal. All of this is normal. Okay, so what I did here was I moved, you know, the other thing I wonder about is this. All right, I also moved those exception things to their rightful package as well. Good. Good. Moved tests in CQRS backend to their respectful hexagonal package is. And then after this commit, let's also run the tests to see if it works. Roland, nice to see you watching the streams. What did you use to create your flow diagrams? I think it was plant UML. They should be in docs somewhere, right? Source. Yeah, it's plant UML. So basically it's code. You define some relations, and then that's it. And there was a plugin that but that basically has templates for plant UML for using C4. So Simon Brown's C4. I think they're in here. There we go. And these are like those templates, I guess. But I also think that they're not up to date anymore. Let's see if they... no, well, it's future flow, obviously, because recovery email filled in. It's not something I have right now. But it does show sort of the flow on how everything should work eventually. And then a container diagram, is that still correct? Yes, because we have a singular container that both contains the view file, so the UI, and the REST API. That's it, basically. But the problem with plant UML is that you have no control on where these things fit. Like you can just say use it horizontally, like get a horizontal flow, but I'm not sure if that would help. For Reb, I think scrolling top to bottom means isn't as normal, so I kept that. All right, let's run the tests, shall we? Oh, they're all green. Didn't expect anything less. Just kidding. Right, so that works. This is great. Great progress already. Let's update the captain's log. Alright, so this we just did. What we also did was introduce new, well, hexagonal as just as packages first. And we did that as well. Keep effort backend as is, move to persistence layer. What I didn't even remember what I did with that, what I meant with that. Keep effort backend as is. Oh, right. So what I meant by that is that I should keep these domain classes, so these ones, as Hibernate classes, and then move logic out of it and just have bare Hibernate entity classes. But I'm not sure if I want to do that. I don't think I want to do that anymore. Let's get rid of that. Goodbye. Map to and from persistence layer. Yes, okay. Let's just do this, man. Okay. Oh, right, and then I forgot the UI. Okay, cool. Plan of attack. All right. What's up next? I think now we should... now we should introduce modules, I think. And that is gonna lead me to create this API, in fact. So let's split these things up into modules. Extract modules out of packages. Okay. Then that means I should probably open settings, so like this one. And I think what? What's with the weird enters? There we go, Elm style. And then what I can do is maybe not include this anymore, and then it'll just be for reference. So then, right, so CQRS backend should end up as like, I don't know, it should be splitting up into all the different modules. So we should keep one of these, and then backend should become CQRS domain or something, which is fat backend domain, something like that. So we've got domain, we have got, well, actually no, we've got core API. What else? The adapters, adapter UI, adapter SQL, and I guess command and query. Maybe they belong in API, I'm not really sure anymore. Because if we look at the dependency diagram, right, we should have core should depend on, oh, actually, yeah, core should depend on API. Core should depend on stuff. No, that's basically it, right? And then API the adapter UI should depend on API. Adapter SQL should depend on API. Well, actually, implement. And then both command and query need to store stuff in the database. Okay. I think this is very difficult to do it like this. I'd rather draw it somehow. Let's try and draw it. Draw.google or something. Draw.io, nice. I don't care. Module dependency diagram. All right, you'll have to tell me if this is visible or not, because I really can't tell. Okay. So we have core. Then we have adapter SQL. Okay. Adapter UI. So this contains all of the controllers and stuff. Spring Web. So it will allow. Is there something like a user or something? I don't know. Yeah, user. Person. So this person somehow connects to the adapter. Then adapter UI should, for example, read stuff. And for reading stuff, we don't really necessarily go through the core, but for writing stuff, we do. So we'll need to create commands in the adapter UI. That means that, so if we split, so I'm not really sure how to split it up yet, but so these are commands. If we split it up, it should be like this. We'll have commands, and that means that there should be dependency like this. Okay. Is the fuck it challenge a thing? Well, it's a thing. It's definitely a thing. It's something that me and my mates did in 2018 when we went on a snowboarding holiday along with Studio Brussels. It's a Belgian radio station, and it's called Snowcase. It's happening again every year. Last time, so this year, we didn't, in 2019, we didn't really do it anymore. That's the entire reason why I'm creating the web app. I hope that it helps us do the Fuck It Challenge again, because I thought it was really fun. Because I did crowd surfing for the first time in my life, and it was really cool. And if it weren't for the challenge, then I would have never done it. Here's adapter SQL. Okay, so I think commands need a dependency on core, because actually that's not true. I think core needs to have an implementation, and then it will know how to deal with these commands when they are being fired from the adapter UI. That also means that adapter SQL should have some way of getting triggered. But I think... Ah yeah, hang on. There's also queries involved, right? So queries. And they should move like this. And then I think this should be a thing. No, actually no. This should be a thing. Uh-huh. Just... Yeah. Alright, do I have all of the packages now? We've got API is there somewhere in between. Not sure if I need API actually. Doesn't look like I need it. Now I am wondering about how I am going to move from currently directly calling these domain classes from here. Because doing something that's actionable should have a command for it instead of just directly executing it on the domain. I'm still wondering what the relation will be between core and adapter SQL. I'm not sure if there is going to be one actually. Because there will be repositories in there and they'll need to be able to... Yeah, okay, so core needs a way of being persisted, so I guess it should be like this as well. Yeah. That's it. Okay. Are you using criteria queries or HQL? Currently, I just got away with using regular JPA queries. Hang on. I only have a simple JPA repository and then a single find by function. I think in my challenge repository, there's absolutely nothing because I only use the save and find by or something. Yeah, find by ID or null. And here, my challenge repository, I only use the save. There were some other repositories here. Maybe the competitor repository. Nope, just save as well. So I just got away with simple queries. So none of the above. I think since I have those, I don't think I'll need HQL or criteria queries at all. Which is cool, because yeah, but I am going to switch to Spring JDBC, so I really can't tell what is gonna happen. So I think this is it. I'll need some orchestration things though, like maybe I could put that on the API thing. We'll see where I can put that. I think maybe it can just be in these packages. So let's do commands, queries as modules, then core and adapter SQL. We already have those. So I don't think I need API. So that means this can go. Queries I am going to need. Same for commands. Okay. Let's actually also add that diagram. Ah, dang it. I should have. This would have been a great case for plant UML, I guess. Anyway, let's just save this thing that I have. Get rid of person. Save as or export as. No, not the JPEG. Come on. PNG. This should be okay. Device. And then move this to okay, it got open here. And now we can move this, I guess, to okay, then let's keep it in here. Is there a way you can like open this in Finder or something? All right, let's go copy it to our effort challenge docs diagrams directory. There we go. Add it. Okie dokie. So there's that. The module dependency diagram. And it should go, so we were in docs, but captain's log is in the root, I think. Yeah. So it should go to docs diagrams effort module. There we go. Okay, so that's added as well. And then let's just commit these things. Added module dependency diagram. Let's not include the settings yet. Cool. And then we can do this, so we can get rid of that. I don't need API. I need core backend adapter UI SQL, and then I'll need command and query. That's it. So I need all of those, so then I can just, I was gonna say, yeah, let's rename the directory to backend core. There we go. And then we can create new directories, saying fit backend command directory fit backend query directory fit backend adapter UI backend adapter SQL and UI we already have. So all of these should somehow work. And they'll all need a source main resources and tests thing then. Okay. This is good. This is good. Okay, now we could start moving from core to adapt from, yeah, let's move adapter, I guess. Adapter UI. So we'll create a new directory called source main Kotlin. Oof. Source test Kotlin as well. And I think, in fact, application.yaml is gonna go there as well, right? Or maybe I'll keep one thing to tie it all together or something, I don't know. All right, now it needs its own Kotlin build file. Wait, it was UI that was moving first, so yeah, let's create a directory then called software sandbox fit adapter UI. That's it. And then everything that's here will just move here. There we go. And then the fit application should go to the fit root package. Okay. Let's do the same for SQL already. Create some directories. Source main Kotlin BE software sandbox fit adapter SQL. Move these over here. Okay. Get rid of that. All right, and now we're left with core domain. Look at that. So I'll need command. Source main Kotlin BE software sandbox fit. And then let's keep it in the same domain, package for now, called domain command then. And let's move them over there as well. Query is empty for now. Okie dokie. Okay. You know what? Let's move that as well, just to get some more consistency. Source main Kotlin, PE, software sandbox, fit, domain, query. And move this git keep over there. There we go. Right, migration. Then that should also move to the SQL adapter. So resources, move DB migration over there. All right. And then application. I guess we can move this to UI. What the Fabane links? Somehow they wasn't deleted. And then UI needs source main resources. There we go. All right, now to move all of this test stuff. Oh no, where did we put these? Should be in the, at least I hope, in the UI package, I think. Nope, that went wrong. Let's just move the files instead. Oh, right, I can't move them. What? Dude, please. Interesting. Does it work for the regular files? So adapter SQL. And then I can move challenge and competition things over there. Hopefully. Okay, that does work. Why does this work though? That's weird, no? Maybe it's because they're not, it doesn't recognize this as a package or something. I've got no explanation. Dang it. Right, so that's UI. Oh, and I moved SQL there. Of course I did. Where is UI? I also moved it in source main Kotlin instead of test Kotlin. Ah, nee, okay. Yeah, so UI has repository integration tests. Not my plan. Test Kotlin B software sandbox adapter. And that's fine. And then this can go there. Let's see, huh? Adapter, yeah, okay. Adapter UI. All right, now it does look legit. Oh, I think I missed F somewhere. Yeah. So it's BE Software Sandbox, F and then adapter crap. Yeah. Test F this one. Refuse. It refuse. What if I do like this? It just takes it. Oh, hey. And then I guess scenario tests are gonna move to their own package or something at some point. Or maybe they can belong in the UI as well. I guess it makes more sense if they belong there. UI, so we've got Test Kotlin BE, Software Sandbox, and then F and then scenario tests. Yeah. Okay. All right. Then this should also move to source test resources. There we go. That can go. All right, I think I split up all of the files right now. I'm not really sure about that actually. Also, I don't know why these changed. Oh yeah, I renamed the directory. Okay. Okay. Now the only thing I need is this, but then with test. Okay. And then Gradle files for all of the new directories. I mean modules. So let's start off with this one. And then what I need. Ooh, now I can strip those things quite heavily. I need that, need that, need that, need that. Guess I need that. This I'm not sure I need. I don't think I need it here. Jackson I do need. Flyway don't need. Oh, actually, wait. Maybe the last one I do need though. No, I don't. Oh, maybe I do. Because because of the scenario tests. Dang it. All right. Now I need project dependencies. All I need is this chair. That's all I need. And this lamp. And this build file. Dang it. I guess core now doesn't need a lot anymore because Spring I really don't need anymore here. You get lost. Bye-bye. Nope, 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 and nope, and that's it. There's no boot chart task for this one. Yeah, don't need this either. Okay, cool. So that was nice. I think and I hope that query can be the same. Command should have the same. And then adapter. I guess for now does require Spring, but only the JPA part. Well, definitely not the actuator module. The Jackson module, I don't think it needs that. Flyweight does need, and then this as well, I think. Oh, I forgot why I needed this. I think somewhere, maybe it is in my repository integration tests, that I've got this in-memory database set up. Competition repository. Hey. Hang on. Okay. Since it's no longer a module, I can't... shit. So I guess I'll need to update my settings file again. And then add backend as a module again, because otherwise I don't get auto-completion anymore. How do you like that chair? You seem very popular with the gamers. Well, I had it, have it for a couple of years now. It's at least 6, I think. I really like the chair. It's got like the perfect weight tilt, if you know what I mean. It's super comfy. It supports your loins, I guess, what you call them. Yeah, just I really like the chair. The only issue I have is that if you tilt back and you move underneath your desk, there is, like, if you tilt back, at some point your armrests will hit the tabletop like this, and then that's the annoying part. That's the only annoying part there is, I think. So we were looking for a repository integration test because, god dang it, auto configure test entity manager. Yeah, I really don't remember why I needed that H2DB. I think easiest is to leave it there, but I'll tell you what, I'll update this and then say try to get rid of H2 dependency. See where it breaks. Okay. Right, so don't need that anymore. So we already have this. Okay. Let's try a Gradle refresh now, I guess. Because I added build scripts to all of these, and then I expected them to do their thing. Something's running. Oh, cancel. Okay. Does it work? Wait, something went wrong here. Backend adapter UI. God dang it. I'm missing these. So if I used controller test, this one, yeah, okay. So both of these need to be in this package. I think that's it. Sure. Okay. Yeah, okay. I forgot to add the dependencies in my modules. That's kind of dumb, right? So here we have the adapter UI, and oh boy. Adapter UI has a dependency on queries, but then I guess should also have a dependency on SQL. I'm not sure if that is a good thing. Yeah, I don't want this. I don't think. Hang on, let's just find out if we get rid of this. Let's just try this. Okay, queries, adapter UI, dependencies. So as these are all regular dependencies, I guess, and then we'll need implementation to fit backend query. Do you need something like the core project? So it should be yeah. Yeah, of course. Now I'm in a mapping land. Oh no. Because now nothing about this is gonna work. Oof. Alright, so here's where all of the actual work starts then, I guess. Maybe moving it into packages, modules wasn't a great idea. And I probably should have first introduced a mapping layer. because now nothing compiles anymore and I can't test anything gradually. This was like the Big Bang thing, so I really need to revert all of these changes. Okay. So let's do that. Let's just revert all changes. And then just extract into more packages. Another thing I want to keep though is a captain's log. So I'll do all of this without the captain's log. Yeah, revert. Nice. And then import again. Because then what I'll need to do now is the following. Introduce mapping stuff. Future module dependencies. And then I guess I can list these as well. So we'll need mapping between fix compile and tests. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, we need to so we need to do this gradually, because otherwise it's the entire Big Bang that's happening. I don't want to be or don't want to have my code in that state. So actually that means that I'll need to introduce these two things as well, because they will serve as an in-between layer. So the first thing I need is basically moving to commands and queries. That I need to do that first. Actually, can we do these separately? Is what I'm wondering. Let's just try it. Yeah. Maybe queries will be easier first. Okie dokie. So let's just try one controller and then. Oh, hang on. This is the wrong one. Now I don't remember. None of these modules should contain anything. It should be just CQRS backend. There we go. Okay. So in the UI's challenge controller, I no longer want to use a challenge repository anymore. I want to use a query executor then. And I think, yeah, we're using both find and save here, so. But this is like the first thing we should be able to transform. What's this pink thing? Oh, okay, just my selection. Yeah, okay. Interesting. I think it's going to be a good idea to do first queries, because then I can just leave the commands for what they are. Yeah, let's rewrite this as a query executor. I'll need a query executor actually first. So let's find out what that thing looks like. It's gonna be something like this, and then it's gonna be a query executor mock, which is gonna be the query executor. It's not one of these, but it's gonna be a new one, and I want it to be in a different package. Domain, I guess, or maybe like util. I don't have a separate thing for that, so maybe I could put it in the queries thing, right? Let's put it in queries. Domain query. Yeah. Okay. Let's make it a service then. All right. So instead of doing this, I guess I'll need something like execute and then find challenge given ID, then return optional not empty. Oh, no. So now we don't have to deal with optional anymore. Now we can return null. Nice. And then this should go. Ooh. Maybe, yeah, do I want to call this query? I guess I don't really. Let's create a new class, separate file, porizu, in the, not in UI, not in adapter SQL, but rather in domain dot query dot challenge. Do I want this to be an optional UUID? That's silly, right? Who does that? No. I also don't think that, I mean, I could now write a wrapper class around a UUID and call it a challenge ID, but challenge isn't working with a challenge ID at all yet, so let's not do that yet. Let's make it do a data class. There we go. Call it challenge ID. I could use a type alias though. Do I want to do that? Nah. And the return type should be what? Any is fine. query is some generic class that I haven't made yet. So let's go back to my find challenge thing and then tell it now extends from query, which is something else that should reside over there. An interface actually. We could type it with There we go. And now it should look for a query handler that handles this query, and then that query handler should have a dependency on, well, should go to the SQL thing. What we could do now though is return nothing. Okay. Yeah, this seems correct then. Cool. Great. And then we can do the same when it does find something. And then don't return null, but return expected challenge. I'm looking for something that just returns like a read-only view of that expected challenge, I guess. Because this thing specifically, well, the challenge controller specifically should only return a detailed challenge, I guess. So like all of the things that a challenge has, which isn't all that much. It's just got name, points, and description. So maybe we'll call this like challenge info or something. Something like that. Oh, hey, duck. New duck, excuse me. So if I were to run this test, it should probably fail because challenge repository isn't being used. Well, it is used. Never seen a web app made in Kotlin before. Okay. It works fine, I guess. It's just a replacement. Like if you were to build a web app in Java, then you can also build a web app in Kotlin and get all the advantages, like null safety, more concise and clean code. Haha, they do fail. Nice. Yeah, definitely. Kotlin is made by JetBrains, the guys behind this IDE I'm using, IntelliJ. But it's a language that just compiles to Java and can run on a JVM. So anything you can write in Java, you can also write in Kotlin and it will work. It's got great interoperability with Java as well, so. Right, so now our tests are obviously failing because our challenge repository is still being used. And what I could do here is instead of, oh, hang on. So thanks for following, New Duck. Let's do, instead of, oh yeah, I also need to inject it, of course. So I'll need a query executor. Yep. Oh, no, wrong query executor. I need this one. And then instead of calling the repository, let's do this with execute with a find challenge query. That's about it. And then I'll need another brace. Oh yeah, right. I'll need some way to tell the framework that whenever this query is returned, I'm gonna return a challenge. Ugh. But do I want this to be bound here or maybe in the query executor itself? Is any of the UI coded yet? Yes. Let me give you a demonstration. I wonder if it's still working because my IntelliJ crashed before. Yeah, let's show you the old one then, I guess. So this is what I had before, and then last stream I cut down a lot of stuff. So we've got a list of challenges, we've got a list of competitions, and then you can create some new challenges. So that was the previous idea, is to just have CRUD for challenges and competitions, and then you can just create new competitions using challenges. But then we came back from that and then only allowed you to create a new competition. Do cool stuff competition, I don't know. And when you create that one, you can add new challenges, like cheer in chat gives you 12 points or something like that. And then this is like now the main way to create challenges, to just have challenges that belong to a competition. Because the main feature of having them separately was to be able to take a competition that happened before and then to host it again and then reuse all of the competitions, all of the challenges from that competition. Like we want to do now is we want to host another F-it challenge in 2020 when we are going on Snowcase again. And the idea is that we can then just go to Snowcase 2018, click on host it again, and then we've got all of the challenges that happened in that competition and then start our competition easily. So that's already up and running. This is considered a production environment currently, but it doesn't have the updated UI yet. And then I also was testing before on Heroku, but as you can see, Heroku's dead right now. I mean, I haven't really maintained it yet ever since. I've just been testing locally. And the next thing I want to do is really, like finish the move to CQRS and hexagonal, and then deploy again and see what I need to actually do operations-wise. Like, I don't think I need to do a lot for that actually, because at least not in the first part, because I think that my tables will remain exactly the same. So hopefully that'll be that. I need something that it should do this. Yeah. Dang it, I need something that says a type that says that it's like an aggregate or something. But I don't really know how to do that in Kotlin, so. Oh. There we go. There we go. Aha. Now I can just tell it that it is a challenge and then deal with that stuff later. That means my tests should work now. Or not. Oh yeah. Same here. There we go. If I rerun my tests now. Okay. Ah, yeah, okay, I think I know what's happening. So we have this test config that provides mock beans for all of the repositories, and I'll need to add a query executor here as well. From my own thing, so that's this one, yeah. Why is that? Because if I do this, then the Spring context during test runtime will have a mocked query executor as a bean that it's gonna provide. So that's what this controller test is doing. And then this auto wiring stuff then results in this thing actually being that mocked bean that was in the Spring context. And it's important that it's exactly that one, because mock MVC will set up my controller, will then also see that, hey, this controller needs a query executor, and then we'll create a new query executor actually, and not a mocked one. So the reference to the actual query executor at runtime and this one are going to be different, and I think that's what happened now. So if I should rerun it now, then it should work. Should work. Please it to work. Yeah, cool. All right. Great. So I think this is what it's gonna look like at some point. Hey, thank you for following. Sawmill is here. Sorry if I mispronounced your name. And then the puts I'm not gonna deal with yet. I choose not to deal with this yet. I am, however, going to commit this already, even though like the full functionality is not working yet. So added query executor to replace controller finds, I guess. What did I change in the captain's log? Because I don't know. Oh yeah. There it is. So first we're trying to move to using queries, huh? Main thing. Which language is this? This is Kotlin, and it's a Kotlin application that, well, actually a Spring Boot application that uses Kotlin. And Kotlin is a language that runs on the JVM, the Java Virtual Machine. And its main coolness factor comes from the fact that it's null safe. Maybe I can show you a little bit about that. For example, here. So find by competition identifier returns a competition or no competition. That's the question mark. And then if you note it like that, then you can change it or map it using this this way. Java videos available on your channel. That's a good question. I might have done the Mars rover kata in Java, but I don't think I have. No. Welcome back, New Duck. You always do commit messages in present tense imperative style, so they sound like instructions instead of what you did. Because then your commit message reads like, or in this case it would mean add query executor or something like that. Add X, fix X. Yeah, I think of git log as a history of events that happened. And then, yeah, you can read it like a story, I guess. Currently very bored. Writing docs is very important. Docs as tests or regular docs, because writing regular docs can be very boring indeed. Where am I at? Oh man. Feel for you, bro. That is annoying. But just think of it, you'll help your successor. And they hopefully won't come and find your address to kill you in your sleep. Here, query, this git key should go. Don't need that anymore. I mean, I think if I quit here, I mean stop streaming here, then I know what to do next, because next up will be the competition controller, and then change this also into query executors. Everywhere there's a find, basically. Ooh, oh, you know what? Maybe I can complete this, like complete the integration test for this. That seems way smarter, actually. Okay, I should do that, right? So now next up is the implementation of a query executor that should then execute this query, find a handler, execute the query, and then in the handler it should be something like find a repository, and then do your stuff. Add a microservice. let me add a microservice. Yeah, I don't need a microservice, right? Yeah, I need to get this query executor working. Now you have two problems. Yeah, this is true. Instead of just the one. I think it's already a stretch. I mean, I'm giving myself the excuse of moving to CQRS and hexagonal because I needed the confidence boost to be able to do this from a monolith, so that I can first start. I mean, you can always start writing monoliths and then move to CQRS eventually. And then keep track of how long it takes me to do that. So Yeah. Let's actually, I think there's a query executor implementation I have somewhere. I think it might be Java though. Where was that again? It might not be here. What? Ollie? Oh. Sorry for these noises. It's I know it's annoying. By the way, the reason I'm not showing this is because it's a production thing. Oh, can you explain CQRS architecture benefits, decoupling UI and backend APIs? So CQRS specifically is you can consider it a design technique to split up your core domain classes into the things that write and the things that read on your domain classes. So for example, if we take competition, competition's class has a bunch of fields like ID, name, start date, and end date. And then also its challenges, competitors, an identifier, etc., etc. But like, for example, add challenge only makes sense when you're editing your competition, for example. And other stuff you just need to show on the screen. So for example, if you need to show a competition's challenges, it doesn't make much sense to show all of this. Like you might not need competitors, for example, right? So you only need a competition, maybe its name, and then its challenges, for example. So what you can't do right now is limit this to just a single class that has that. I mean, you can, but then you need to write another class for that, which I'm going to do eventually as well. But the idea of CQRS is that you don't want to make a change to your model for just a single reason. Like if you only need some field on competition, for example, because you only need to show it, then it should belong in like the read part. And the reason for that is that you don't have to think about why that thing is showing. So you don't need to think about consistency when you're applying right like modification, mutation functions on your domain class. That's the biggest idea. So because if you split it like that, then you don't need to worry anymore about those two separate responsibilities, really. So that's the idea. And then hexagonal is more, well, that, but on an architectural level, so that you can enforce that future developers don't use or don't break that barrier in between. That's what hexagonal is about then, I guess. And you say GraphQL. I don't have much experience with GraphQL. The only thing that I know about that is you sort of relay the responsibility of working with the domain to like a client. But yeah, I'm not really sure if that's correct. Whoa, internet died. I got some message from my my ISP that they're gonna do some work which should serve as a betterment to hexagonal. Okay, instead of hexagonal. My emphasis was on the wrong syllable. Thanks for correcting me. Let's see, huh? Ah, dang it. We put that in a core package. A common core package. Okay, that explains. Ah, a Jekyll theme. I'm interested in how you generate your docs. You use ASCII doc or something, or? Hey, that looks nice. This endpoint allows getting an EVNet stream for a progress key. These seem like REST API docs, though. Are you not using something like what's it called again? Jesus, there's like an open API documentation thing. What's it called again? Okay, hang on. Yeah, dark themes for the win indeed. Ale, what's the thing called again? Swagger UI. Do you know that? Okay, what to do? Yes, Swagger. You prefer writing, making your own stuff. Well, the thing is, you can still write your own docs. It's just then you don't need to, how do you call that? Because you have to keep your docs up to date, right? And this helps you do that. Because the moment your REST API changes, then you can you get free updates to your docs. Oh, dang it. I need to actually cut the stream short. Because I need to be gone in 15 minutes. Oh, the actual page? You don't need Swagger Swagger's hosting actually. What's that thing called? Like, if in Spring you can just do something like, let's go to some controller, competition controller. So I'm not sure which language you're using, but it shouldn't really matter. So for example, you can do something like, dang it, what was it again? Like API or something as an annotation. And then like write your docs here. And then what the Swagger library will do is next to your regular API that's hosted at localhost whatever /API/competition, it's also gonna serve a UI even at /Swagger docs or whatever you choose API, and then it'll just serve that. So actually, I sort of lied. So what you do is you annotate. This annotate will serve something like docs/API, and then something about this competition controller. And then there's a Swagger UI you can run wherever, which you just point to localhost 80 or whatever /docs/API. And then this Swagger UI will be able to parse whatever information this thing gives it, because the Swagger docs and then the Swagger UI both know the same API. So it'll generate a nice looking website with documentation on your API. But I'm not sure if you wanna do that. I mean, if you want to host it and write the docs yourself, of course you can do that. But since you said that it's a boring job, and I agree that it's boring, then you might want to check that out. Okay, so the next thing I'm gonna do is like add a query executor, but I am gonna have to stop the stream now though, because I need to be gone in 10 minutes now. So I thank you all for hanging out. I'm not really sure. Let's check when I'm streaming next. Yikes. Might be on Tuesday. I'm not really sure. On Wednesday, actually Thursday, I'll be at the OKR forum in Amsterdam. So if you're going there, maybe we can meet each other there. So if not, it might be next Friday, actually. Or Sunday next week. So either Tuesday, Friday, or Sunday, I'll be streaming again. One of those days. All right. Thank you all for hanging out. I'll see you then. And until then, or until the next time, peace.